Hey guys, today is Thursday, December 3rd. The time is 1:08 p.m. and the temperature right now is 8 degrees Celsius. I'm here just alongside Riverdale Park West on Carlton Street here in the neighborhood of Cabbagetown. And the plan for this ride is to head west along the entire length of Carlton Street and then all the way across College Street to where it merges into Dundas Street West. And then I think I'll head up to Dundas West Station. The entire ride should be somewhere around 8 kilometers or so. This neighborhood, Cabbagetown, does have the largest collection of Victorian homes in North America, and it's easily one of, if not the nicest residential area in the city of Toronto.
Just to get an idea, how much is that?
And Cabbagetown is located downtown in the northeast area. So this here is Parliament Street. I need to make a left and then an immediate right to continue straight onto Carlton. Although, interestingly enough, there is no light here for me to go through. So this is a rather confusing intersection. Let me just get off to the side so I'm not blocking anyone crossing the street. And now I continue going west on Carlton Street. So Cabbagetown continues to about Sherbourne Street, which is just up ahead. These are some of the Victorian homes on both sides of the street, many of which have been converted into various businesses. And this is my second bike ride in as many days. I tried to record a ride yesterday. I went down Avenue Road through Queen's Park and University Avenue to the lake. But that was my first ride in quite a while, and I didn't quite get the camera set up correctly. It was a bit more off-centered than I would like. And I didn't want to upload it as it was so off-center, so I thought I would try cropping it. And I wasn't too happy with how that came out, so I think I will just upload that ride in the near future to the Johnny Stumbles channel. The whole point of that channel is for all the videos I didn't think were fit for this one. So pop over there to check it out in the coming days. So this is Sherbourne Street. I just crossed through, and on the left is the Allen Gardens Park, which also features very nice botanical gardens, which I'm quite sure is closed due to the recent COVID restrictions. And I am riding into a pretty strong wind. So this will be a good test of my new replacement microphone. That was one of the reasons why I haven't recorded a bike ride in quite a while. This is Jarvis Street. I think my last mic suffered some kind of water damage. I've sent that one back to the manufacturer as it's still under warranty. So if they replace it, great, and if they don't, then I guess it was my fault either way. This is Church Street, and just on the northwest corner, which is on the other side of the street on the right, is Maple Leaf Gardens, the former home of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now primarily occupied by a Loblaws grocery store and a skating rink for Ryerson University. Maybe I could have stopped there. My bad. And this is Yonge Street I'm approaching, so that's been the entire length of Carlton already. And just on the other side of Yonge, College Street will begin.
Okay, yeah, I'm coming up. Is that...
So it's about the same temperature as it was yesterday, not so bad. We did get a bunch of snow a few days ago, but as you can see, the roads are nice and dry. There's no real hazard posed from the snow, and most of the winters in the city are kind of like this. Right after a snowfall, the roads can be wet and mucky. But shortly after, they clear up and are relatively dry. So as long as you don't mind battling the cold, cycling in Toronto in the winter isn't really a problem. Here's a guy going the wrong way down the bike lane. And this is Elizabeth Street. So just in here to the right is the University of Toronto St. George campus. As well as Queen's Park, the provincial legislative building that'll be coming up at University Avenue just up ahead. And the University of Toronto will extend for quite a ways, pretty much down to Spadina. And you might notice there's no streetcars running along College. Normally the 506 Carlton streetcar would be servicing the street, but it's been replaced by a bus. That was entirely my fault. The sidewalk disappeared and I assumed the bike lane continued on to where it normally would have been, but They've temporarily rerouted it. It's one of the reasons why you always have to keep your head up. And this is Queen's Park. That's the capital of the province of Ontario, just to the right. And I am riding straight into the wind right now. And it had been so long since I last did a bike ride. My legs have been quite sore since yesterday's ride. So I don't think I'll be pushing myself particularly hard. I did take the subway down from Yonge and Eglinton to College Station. And I think I will subway back just to preserve my legs, but I'm definitely looking to get out and do more wintry bike rides like this, even though I think it's still technically fall. And this is St. George Street. So the next major street ahead is Spadina, and on the left will be Chinatown, and you could turn right and take that up to the Annex neighborhood. And once I continue on straight a bit and get past Bathurst, I'll be in the Little Italy neighborhood. And just past that will be Little Portugal, and it looks like I'm catching all sorts of lights.
Yeah, that just, is usual. The buck talk.
That gentleman was carrying a computer case, and just up ahead on College is at least what used to be where you would go to buy PC components. There's still a number of shops left, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. And this is Spadina Avenue, so that's Chinatown on the left. And I am not wearing a mask right now, but perhaps it'll be a good idea to combat these cooler winds at this time of year. I'll have to try that on my next ride. There's a lineup at Canada Computers. I think they're still having a Black Friday / Cyber Monday sale. And this is Augusta Avenue coming up on the left. And that is where you can enter sort of the main section of Kensington Market, one of the more popular neighborhoods downtown. Hopefully I can break the cycle of red lights coming up. A lot of vacant storefronts around here. This area is fairly well known for its nightlife, a lot of bars and a few live music venues. But I think a combination of COVID and these recent restrictions have dealt a death blow to a lot of these businesses. And just to the south of here is Sneaky D's. They are rumored to be either closing up or relocating once again. That's certainly a downtown institution, well known for its nachos, and they do have live music. I think that corner is being redeveloped into a condo. And from here till about Ossington Avenue is the Little Italy neighborhood. Sadly, there was no Taste of Little Italy this year, which is a large outdoor, mostly street food festival, which is very similar to Taste of the Danforth, which they hold in Greektown, although it's a lot less crowded, so I tend to prefer it more. Most of these residential streets you could follow north up to Koreatown. And a number of them will lead south to the West Queen West neighborhood. And just up ahead on the right is the former Mod Club. I remember going there back in the mid-2000s. That's just here on the corner of Crawford and College on the right. That was one of the many victims of this virus. Although personally I blame the government more than the virus for not putting measures in place to ensure no business had to close because of this. Although, of course, that would have meant a giant bill for the taxpayers. Got to be real careful crossing over these streetcar tracks. I thought I did everything right there. I looked, I signaled, I took it at a sharp angle, and my wheel still snagged on something. So this is Ossington Avenue. I just went past. And I am approaching the Little Portugal neighborhood, although the heart of Little Portugal is to the south along Dundas Street West. College does bend to the south and merges into Dundas Street. So this is Dovercourt Road. I think this is the official beginning of Little Portugal. I couldn't really tell you if this is busy or not for this time of day, at this time of year. One of the things I hope to do is revisit some of these videos I'm taking during the pandemic once this thing clears up, sort of see how things bounce back. Oh my, traffic is bunching up pretty good just up ahead. This should prove fun to navigate. As long as these cars keep to their lane on the left, it won't be an issue. And this is Dufferin Street. I've always quite liked that mural in front of this convenience store. Although it looks like they might not even be open anymore. I don't see any signs of life. Just to the north of here is Dufferin Mall. Yeah, that store is gutted. It looks like it is no longer. Rather than cross these tracks, I'm just gonna split the cones and the tracks. One thing you can't see in these videos, my walking or cycling videos, is that I'm constantly looking over my shoulder and looking around. To navigate the city, you definitely need to have your head on a swivel at all times. And this is Brock Avenue. This area is the former town of Brock, before it was amalgamated into the city of Toronto. And just up ahead here is where it bends to the south and connects to Dundas Street West. That guy's blasting some tunes from his bike. Now I have an interesting option just up ahead since I'm going to Dundas West Station. Oh, it looks like I cannot go straight to Dundas Street West. In fact, it looks like Dundas Street West is entirely closed. I think this is Landsdowne, so let's just go north up Landsdowne. That's pretty much all the way to the end of College Street anyways, so this works out nicely. I was going to say I could have taken the West Toronto rail path over to Dundas West Station. I recorded a ride through there earlier this year. And I could also turn left on some of these streets and find my way over to Dundas West. I think at some point they go underneath the rail tracks. I might be wrong on that. So just on the other side of Bloor Street will be Landsdowne Station, which I will take my bike onto the eastbound Line 2 train over to Bloor Yonge Station, then I'll go north up to Eglinton. Once I start to get my legs back, I'll usually just ride all the way home. And lately I've been leaving the camera on and recording extra rides for the Johnny Stumbles channel. So perhaps the number of cycling videos on that channel will pick up. And Bloor Street West has a dedicated bike lane that runs between Runnymede Road to the west all the way to Dawes Road on Danforth Avenue to the east. I'll definitely do a ride in the wintertime that goes across the entire length of the Bloor and Danforth bike lanes. And here we are, Landsdowne Station. Maybe I can fish my transit pass out of my bag here. I usually put my valuables in my backpack. And I'll throw a mask on, of course. That is required by City of Toronto bylaw, although they don't really enforce it at all on the TTC. So I am looking to take the eastbound train. I hope you guys enjoyed this ride all the way across Carlton Street and most of College Street. And then north up to Landsdowne Station. The next train is not for 2 minutes, so I'm gonna turn the video off. There are links to my Instagram and Patreon in the description. If you wish to support the channel, you can also consider a YouTube channel membership. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you on the next one.